I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Views from the East Network. This is your boy Prada, and it is Monday, July 11th, 6:01 a.m. And as you know, we will be day trading, and as you can see, as of right now, we're scanning for potential winners. If you guys have been enjoying the content, please feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell to be notified every time we go live. Right now, I'm running solo. I'm not sure if my mentor will be joining us today. Maybe he's still sleeping. Uh, but yeah, man. Right now, the market is looking a little dry, a little suspect. What I mean by that is, like we have stocks that are flying $3 with just 800 volume, meaning 800 shares traded, and it's up like $2-3. So I'm not jumping on that. I mean, the news is decent, but I'm not taking that risk.
There's a Perigo on news, hit a high of 42.05, now at 41.50, up 40 cents. Up Romeo Golf Oscar.
But yeah, man, it's looking a little quiet. We have a lot of, again, on this channel.
PMCB, Europort Capital commences consent solicitation to reconstitute Pharmaside Biotech Board of Directors. That's Papa Michael Charlie Bravo. HITI, High Tide subsidiary, Blessed CBD, launches sale of hemp-derived CBD products on Amazon UK. That's Hotel India Tango India.
Sorry, guys, give me a second. Sorry, my brain. But yeah, man, the market's looking a little quiet right now. The top shares with the highest volume right now, a lot of them are actually under $1. I tend not to touch the stocks that I really target is between $2 to $10, give or take. Not that I won't touch something that's like 15, 20, 30 cents. You guys have seen me do it before. However, there just isn't any news on these things for me to like really feel confident to go in there. For example, we have INPX right now at a little over 7 million volume, which is huge with it just being 6 in the morning. It closed Friday at 18 cents. And right now it's at 25, 26 cents. I don't see any news on it yet, so not touching that. We have PHUN, which is, I'm a little bit biased because I made a ton of money off of this thing last year. It has 6.2 million shares being currently traded. Well, not currently, but up until now, 6 million shares have been traded. Closed Friday at 122. Now it's at a dollar 54.55. It's actually been hovering around that dollar 54.55 for a while now. Um, it went up as high as a dollar 73, but I just missed that ride. So I'm just seeing what it's doing. If it's finding support in this 150 area, if so, we might try to push back up to the 170, maybe $2. Who knows? But I have my eyes on that. Next stock is COMS. 3.5 million shares traded so far. It closed at 18 cents Friday. It's at 23 cents. I mean, so basically, like the top 5, 6, 7 stocks, they're all below a dollar. Not all, but majority of them. And unless it's like superb news, not gonna touch it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you guys are also trading, let me know what you're looking at. Let's look at it together. But right now, it's looking quiet. Um, even on, you can even see it here on the Webull scanner. So I mean, this is filtered more by the gap in percentage increase. So as you can see, like this is one of the stocks that I was talking about here. I don't know about 26 cents. I mean, this is the one that I was talking about here. This NYXH. Like this thing was as high as like 1018, and look how much volume. I think the volume is a little bit more than that. Webull, I don't know. Webull in pre-market times, it doesn't show accurate volume. I don't know why. Maybe it's my settings. I haven't been able to figure it out yet. But the real volume of this thing is like 980, which is like not even a huge difference. But yeah, it shouldn't be jumping freaking $2. So clearly, there's something going on with that. D block or GWHC is going up crazy. I mean, the volume isn't like in the millions, but that's because Mr. Tesla himself, Elon Musk, is backing out of the Twitter deal. So Trump has his own social media platform called Truth Social, and because when Musk was like, "Hey, I'm buying Twitter," this took a big hit. But since that's being canceled, I guess some people are coming back. So this thing was at like $22 yesterday. Let me see. Yeah, this thing closed yesterday at $24.52, and it went up as high as $32 yesterday, Friday. Yeah, it went up from $24.52 all the way to $32.75. But since then, it's been trickling down. The lowest I think it's been is around 30.20. Now it's at 30.47. To be honest, I don't know what this thing is going to do because we also had some bad news. I think this may come back down. I think like this was an overreaction right here at the 32.75. I think it might come down even lower, especially when I see this huge sell order right here for $30.62. 8,860 shares being sold, or wants to be sold at that price. That would be a huge wall considering the amount of volume that's here right now. It went down to 30.27, came back up to the 31.85. Now it's back down to 30.54. It's 6 a.m. The 4 a.m. crew didn't do anything to this. The 5 a.m. crew, 6 a.m. crew. So, but I really like to wait till 7 in the morning to see what happens, because that's where most of the bigger brokers are open for business. And I do use TD Ameritrade, but I like Webull because it gives me access at 4 in the morning. So if a company does so happen to drop news around for some reason between 4 and 6 a.m. or anything before 7, let's put it that way, I have the opportunity to jump on it for the other traders. Yeah, I don't really see. This thing don't want to pick up my order, huh? Uh, 6.7. More back stingy, or I'll put my price. So we keep it up. Right. You know what? I'll put this person. Let's go. Um, Alton. Something's price. Market cap. So, yeah, guys, this is not the trading doesn't. I mean, it could happen. I could have gotten into a trade early this morning. Depends on what was available. Like I said, there were a few things that did move, like PHUN. I didn't jump into that. I jumped in the shower instead, so missed out on that. That was like about 4 in the morning, and yes, I'm up at 4 in the morning checking because I don't want to miss out on a beat. But for the most part, between 4 and 6 a.m., it's kind of quiet. Companies rarely drop news early like that.
CAMT, Camtech announcing preliminary results. Camtech sees Q2 revenue of about $80 million at the top end of guidance range. Previously announced guidance of $77 to $80 million. The estimate, 79 million. That's Charlie Alpha Michael Tango, CAMT.
mean, sounds good. The volume is according to legal 329, but I know that's probably off. But it's not off by much. Even if I wanted to say times two, times three, it's that's nothing, and it's actually down 4 cents. Closed at 24. Well, that's weird. This is saying it's down, but on this it's saying it's up a dollar. Make it make sense. Closed July 8 at, okay, it closed at 24.55. That's so funny.
TWTR Twitter out with an amended proxy statement.
Twitter's going down the drain.
The proxy statement includes the tweet from the Twitter board chairman, Fred Taylor, saying that they're committed to closing the transaction on the price and terms agreed upon with Elon Musk and plans to pursue legal action to enforce the merger agreement.
Yeah, that's going to be
Yeah,
a big
Tango
battle.
Whiskey, Tango Romeo.
As you can see, this thing was at 35.04 yesterday. I mean, this thing closed at 36. To be honest, it had a high of 37.51, and it dropped as low as $34 yesterday. But as you can see this morning, it dropped even lower to 33.48. I mean, it's recovering. To be honest, you know what? How about this? I mean, I like Twitter. I don't really use it, but I may have to take a short position on this. Just, I mean, can't go against the trend. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna cancel this order that I had cooking over here because they're playing games. And Twitter, let's look at you real quick. I mean, it was as high as 35, 37. I mean, the people were shorting this yesterday at like $37. It must have, pardon me, it is early. Some might have took profit when it dropped down to 33.48 because obviously you see like a big spike. You know, it jumped up basically all the way to 34.70. So like, you know, $1.20 something after it hit that. So it's you know, it's a lot of people covering from shorting the stocks. Friday was my birthday, so after I made my money, I wasn't even looking at the market. Um, but yeah, that news dropped after the fact. I missed that news that Elon backed out of the deal. I would have immediately took a short position myself. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And I would have probably reaped the benefits right here. I probably would have got in somewhere around 35 and put like a, I would have been conservative. I would have said at $34 I'm out. Would have been 34.50 and I would have made it. But you can't dwell. There's always opportunities. Looking at buy orders here, like I said, these can be shorts. Like someone that's willing to buy 1,000 shares at 34.25, they probably be shorted at 37. They're just trying to. So I'm just gonna wait, especially for the 7 a.m. crew, the 8 a.m. crew, because like I said, that's when most of the major brokerages open. TD Ameritrade,
AZZ reporting $1.40. The estimate was $1.03. Sales of 314.4 million is a beat for Alpha Zulu Zulu.
it's closed, man. Yeah, some of these stocks too, man. Uh, I don't want to say a lot of them. But I rarely see it, but like some of them don't allow you to trade at all. Pre-market after hours, they just shut it down. They only open it up for normal trading hours, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Twitter, I don't trust it. I know. Let's see if I'm right, guys. We'll see. 7 a.m. hits. We'll see what happens between 7:15 a.m. Because if it continues to stay at this 34-26 area here, it might it might it might jump all the way back up to the 35, maybe even a little higher than the 35. Because like I said, this thing's at 37.51. And usually shorts don't short on a Friday. They usually don't take those gambles because Friday is usually like. However, because no one wants to hold shorts over a weekend. It's like you don't want to be betting against the stock over the weekend, Monday, where like in my experience, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are like the hottest days on the stock market in terms of like news going up. So, but with that news, I would have held to, and I would have reaped the benefits of that huge drop that you see right here at the beginning. Um, let me put a line here. So, levels. I'm watching that $34.73 range. Um, Again, I'm waiting for the 7 a.m. crew because the 7 a.m. crew is probably gonna buy up all these little $34 orders if they're short. If I shorted from $37, I'd be more than willing to take all of this and just to get out of the trade. So this can pop up. I am going to take a short position on it regardless, but I'm trying to see if I can catch it at the highest possible. Like I don't want to short it now and it goes up $2 and then I'm down $2 per share because again I'm betting against the stock. But yeah, I primarily focus on penny stocks, and that's the thing, guys. If you well, first of all, before we even continue any further, please do not do what I do. Do not buy what I buy, sell what I sell, short what I short. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for education purposes. I just share with you my strategies, what I'm thinking, what I'm finding on the radar, what news is dropping, what may make me money. But it doesn't mean that I'm always right. However, um, but yeah, just get that out of the way. Don't do what I do. 'Cause if I'm wrong and you're down, it's over. Check the phone. What's going on, team? Hold on. Sorry about that, sir. Yeah, I already saw NYXH and I already saw the INPX. I'm not interested. INPX, to be honest with you, there's no news on it. It's actually number one. It has the highest volume. Period. Um, Let me actually go to TD Ameritrade just to get the most accurate information that I possibly can. It's currently at 7.2 million volume. So that's how many shares have been traded so far. Closed on Friday at 18 cents. It is still in the 25 cents area from when I mentioned it like about an hour ago. There's no news. There's no news indicating why it's up that much. So I usually don't chase. I mean, hey, you never know. This thing might blow. but it can also be a trap. For me to get into a trade, honestly, the news has to be there because you need a catalyst. The volume has to be there, of course. I like to look at the float. And actually, since you mentioned it, I don't remember what the float is on that stock. INEX. I like to share, I like to trade things that are 25 million shares or less available. Maybe 50%. I'm saying 50%. Like the highest I would look at is like 100 million shares, but to be honest, like I like to focus on stocks that are like 50 million shares or lower in their float, meaning shares available to the public. And this company, INPX, has 149 million shares. Again, with the price being as low that it is, with all the shares that they have available, it would take far more than 7 million shares for it to move significantly. But with 7 million shares, it did move up 7 cents, just to kind of give you guys the idea. I do see. Yeah, I saw the link. I saw the news on that as well. When I was looking at that thing at 4 in the morning, it was like at $8.05, and for some reason it jumped to $10.18. But it did it with only 300 volume. Like this is something that I constantly tell people. Like sometimes a company does have really great news, but if no one cares, then no one cares. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it's the best news in the world. In your opinion, you might be like, "Oh man, this is really good. There's no volume on it right now. Let me jump in early before everyone else." But like, if the rest of the world doesn't care about that, like if it's not that serious, if it's not a big deal, no one is really going to jump in on that. That news that you're sending me came out at around 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and it's already 6:28. And like I said, so far, I can tell you exactly how many shares. As of right now, only 932 shares have been exchanged. 932 shares. That's nothing. And to give you more indication that there's something random about it, is that the price is at 1076 right now. But if you look at the bid and the ask, matter of fact, let me pull that up on Google, okay, so you guys can see what I'm kind of saying. Like you don't want to chase stocks. Like if sure it had good news, like look at this price increase. Like it closed yesterday at 778. Excuse me, I keep saying yesterday, I mean Friday. Um, and look, it's at 1016. Volume, according to Webull, it's 1,000 shares, 1.43. So 1,430 shares. This thing literally has 13 million shares in float, which is great. This is something that I would have saw as like the news is there. This is a really low float. The price is not terrible, although I tend to target things, $5 between 1 and 5. I'll look at something up to even $20 if it's good enough. If everything fits in my parameters, um, I'll trade it. But again, man, a $2.38 jump. This thing was already up $2.38 when it jumped up 300 shares. Since then, it's traded.
NILE, BitNile Holdings, forms Alt Energy to make strategic oil and gas acquisitions. That's November India Lima Echo.
But yeah, it's kind of suspect for it to jump up that high, $2 increase with a 13 million float with just 300 shares, and it's traded 600 shares since then. And as you can see, nothing. Like just sitting there. So like, if you jump into this and you're like, "Oh man, it's already up $2. Let me get in here." Like, how choppy that chart is. Like there's no volume in here. Like it's just literally barcoding itself. So like when you sit in here, and I tried to short this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this little $10.40, like there's not even any available shares to short. Well, at least on the Webull platform. Maybe on the other brokers there is, but like I said, I'm not always right. I could be wrong, but with just 1,000 shares, like I said, with 300 shares, it jumped up $2. Like that could be a trap. I'd rather watch that. I'd rather lose that opportunity than take a risk like that and end up down. Because just as easily as it flew up $10, is just as easy as it can just shoot back down to 8. Trust me, I'm trying to, and I can't even look. I was able to short it this morning. Now it's not even giving me the option. Like the company you just mentioned, it has decent news, but this is it right here. BitNile, 35 cents. Again, I tend not to even look at things like this. Not all the time. It depends. If it's on the top list, I do want to know why. But like, look at the float, man. 313 million shares. Like, in order for this to do anything significant, the amount of shares that have to be traded is ridiculous. And right now it's closed anyway. So you can't even trade it even if you wanted to, which is kind of weird because I don't think that's accurate. I think it is open. No, it's not. It's closed. Um, I like to look at the average. Let me see. The average volume per day, if it's being traded for the last 3 months, has been 23 million. So, and again, this is where you got to do the homework research. You gotta look, let's go back in time. I don't know why it's so zoomed in like that. I like to, what have you been doing the last? I like to go back like 5 days, 10 days, maybe a month or two just to see what the price action looks like. I mean, this thing was as low as 25 cents at a point, give or take a few days ago. So if you would have got in, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 business days ago. But again, I'm a day trader. I don't hold for that long unless it's a new company. I don't know, unless it's like something that I know it's going to keep on going up and up and up and up and up. But again, I will collect profit along the way while it's rising. Um, However, I am holding some IPOs that I'm getting into. See them here on my watch list. Warranty, which is supposed to open up tomorrow. So I have my eyes on that. Hopefully, they allocate shares to me. If they don't, oh well. But yeah, these three right here: Intelligent Living Application Group, and then Virax Biolabs. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So literally, well, I don't have anything yet until they, and you won't know if you're getting shares until the day of. So even if I pre-ordered, you know, I might not get anything. I ordered 1,000 shares for each of these. Um, doesn't mean I'm going to get all 1,000. Sometimes they may partially fill you. It depends on what your broker has available. Um, so they might give me half. I don't know. They might give me 750, 500. They might only give me 100 shares, or they might give me the full 1,000. Who knows? Um, but yeah, these are the first 3 IPOs, traditional IPOs that I'm getting involved in. So tune in literally Tuesday, Wednesday for that. But usually IPOs, they start trading. They open up to the market usually 10 a.m. between 10 and 11. Sometimes they open up in the afternoon by like 1 o'clock. Um, so I'll probably be streaming much longer Tuesday and Wednesday. Um, Thursday, I return to my normal 9 to 5. Vacation will be over. However, I'll still be streaming until at least 11 a.m. So hopefully this thing opens up at 10 because Virax is actually the most promising one. So hopefully I'm 3 for 3 or at least 2 out of 3. Uh, because again, you can't expect to make money on every trade. It's not going to happen. Things don't go your way all the time. Let me subtract here so I can see what he's saying about comments.
STM and GFS, ST Microelectronics, and Global Foundries to advance FD SOI ecosystem with new 300 mm manufacturing facility in France. That was reported yesterday, now confirmed. At Sandy Tango Michael and Golf Foxtrot Sandy.
Yeah, man, I don't really see. Mullen was something that we called out when it was like $1.03. If you guys have been watching the stream, this thing was like $1.03 at some point, like around here. Yeah. Now, as you can see, it's at $1.17. Obviously, profits were taken, but I mean, Mullen, MULN. I mean, it has promise. It's another EV car company. Their shares went up because Tesla is now taking their charging network and allowing other vehicles to use it other than Tesla. So this caught a nice little spike out of here because obviously Tesla has the biggest charging network. So anyone that owns a Tesla, it's easy for them to find a charging station wherever they are, basically. Other car companies don't really have that. They would have to find like regular charging stations, which they are, but it's not as convenient. But Mullen, they won't start delivering their cars until the end of next year, 2023. So I tread lightly with it. I mean, this thing was as high as like $3 or something cents at a time. So, and that's crazy. This thing, look at that. This is the funniest thing in the world. We saw it too. But look at that. I forgot it even went this high. But yeah, 103 jumped all the way to 127. So, and that had really good news. They paid a majority of their debt. I think they had $23 million in debt. They paid like 17 million out of it. So we already knew that was going to do something, and that's why you see that huge jump. Now, obviously, it's taking a pullback. But again, as a day trader, I probably would have. I probably would have sold like 3 times. I mean, we didn't do it. We weren't that excessive on it. We just did it like once, but I think we left like somewhere around here. I gotta look at my orders. But anyway, 115. Not saying that's expensive, but look at the last couple of days. I need to click on days. Um, that's when it was at that high $4 or whatever that was. $3, $4, and then ever since then, it's just been coming down. This 170 is as high as it's gotten in a while. You know what? Put a line there. Because as you guys can see, it's trying to. So the reason I put the line here, right, just kind of give an explanation, is because ever since that huge dip, it's gone up this high, and then it's gone back down. And it's tried to come back up again, but it got rejected at the price of the last high, and it fell all the way back down from that 170 back to the 103. So, I mean, it jumped up to 127, as we just mentioned. Um, but it looks like it's trying to curl to come back up. And maybe it might attempt to break that 170 wall again. Who knows? If it does try to do it, but this is more of like long-term hold. Like this is something you gotta hold possibly for days in order to see it attempt that. As a day trader, we don't have that kind of patience, unless we take a small position, but it's really ready. I'm watching it heavily. 7 a.m. is coming up. I want to short it. Twitter went up as high as $55 when Elon announced that he was buying it. And with all the delays, it dropped down to like 44 and came back up to like 52. So on this right here, I'm collecting profit in this area if I'm shorting, right? Because it already dropped $10. So it came back up, steady, and now it's like, hey, I'm not, the delay. This is around May 5th. And then from May 5th, it took from $50 with all the delays and all the way down to 34. That's crazy. So someone with a ton of capital that has patience, and I'm not saying day traders wouldn't do this, but you would, like personally, day traders don't like to tie up a majority of their funds. So at a $54 price point, even myself, if I were to at least tie up half my account into this to short it, I mean, obviously I would have made a significant profit by now, but day traders like to have their full buying power on a daily basis, like because you never know what's the next big thing that could be coming out, and you have most of your account somewhere else, and it's like, oh man, had I been able to put full power into this trade, my profits would have been astronomical. So we want to make sure. So I would have probably did this, day by day. Like, okay, boom, this dip, thank you, I'll take it. Come back in around here. Bad news, let me take the short. Let's see what it does for the day. Take it. I mean, obviously these moves are take. This happened on the 5th. It got down here by the 24th. There's no way I'm leaving so much assets for 20 days in order to make that profit. At $54, I like to buy, depends, give or take, but unless I'm buying over 1,000 shares here, or at least 1,000, but again, I can't tie that up for 20 days, like, because that's $54,000, right? If we're doing the math, 54 times 1,000, $54,000. So unless you have a huge account, you got, I don't know, 6 figures in there, and you want to say, let me allocate half, then sure. But what I am looking forward to doing today is hoping that it jumps back up. Right now it's at this 30. I don't trust it. I'm waiting for the 7 a.m. crew because I feel like a ton of people shorted this on Friday, and they're going to come and collect. It seems as high as $37. It went as low as $33 that you can see right here. So obviously, whoever has access to the market between 4 and 6:59 a.m. before the 7 a.m. crew comes, the minute it dropped to 32.48, they started covering their short positions. They jumped all the way back up to this 34.73 in the blink of an eye. Not in the blink of an eye, but within like 10 minutes. But ever since then, it's just been trailing. I'm also going to put another line here too, because this is the lowest that it's gotten since its rise back to the 34. So it's gone up as high as 34.73, took a drop back down to, you can't even see the price, but somewhere around 34.19 or 34.15. It goes back up. So you can see it's, and I don't know if it's people shorting early in the AM. I wouldn't even, I mean, I could have maybe and took the risk and said, oh, let me short at 34.75. And, you know, could have made a 50-cent profit, 50 cents per share. But I'm okay. I'm just assuming, again, 7 a.m. is for the much larger brokers, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwartz, you know, those guys, Fidelity, like all of those guys, 7 a.m., you know, they're going to want to collect their profit as well. So if they see it's $3 short, or even if they shorted it at yesterday's after hours closing at $35, if it's already in the 34s, that might be $1 profit for some people. And if they, now to give you a scale, let's say they shorted the stock 5,000 shares. So if it drops $1, that's $5,000 profit for them to collect. Who's not going to collect that, you know? So I like to let the 7 a.m. crew come in, followed by the 8 a.m. crew. The 7 and 8 a.m. crew are the bigger brokerages. Um, in terms of, when I say bigger brokerages, I mean in terms of like, what's the best way to explain this? Excuse me. They're just a much bigger company with much more assets. The Like the hardcore traders are there. Not to say there's not hardcore traders in Robinhood and other things, and even like Webull, they are, but Webull is more of a day trading platform. TD Ameritrade and those guys, they do have day trading platforms, but they're also long-term investments as well. So not that Webull doesn't have that, but Webull is still fairly new compared to these guys. You know, TD Ameritrade, all these guys have been around for decades. So obviously, you know, just even their customer service, everything is just much more because they've been around way longer. But again, the 7 a.m. crew is really going to dictate and tell me what the price wants to do, where it's going. So this is my window. If it breaks this at 7, if it like flies past this blue line, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., that's people covering their shorts and collecting profit. Especially if they miss this window at $33, they're going to be looking to collect as soon as possible. To be honest, if I really want to be risky, I should actually buy, right? Because if I buy it as the price is going up because they're covering their positions, I'll make profit, technically speaking. And let's say whoever bought at the high yesterday at like $37, when they're waking up this morning and they're seeing this at 34, they're down $3, so they're losing money. So they may want to sell and get out of this thing as quick as possible. But they also might hope that the shorts cover in time. But this is Monday. So if someone is shorting the stock Monday, some of these people have patience. Like I said, some day traders have enough capital to let me allocate 33% of my account to shorten this, and I'll wait until Friday to collect. That's why no one really shorts on a Friday, because they know that's where most shorts like to cover. So prices will fly up. Uh, Trying to get as much information as I can. It's not even on the screen. No, yeah, let me just leave it here so I can.
Benzinga market update, S&P futures down 19.25, the Dow futures down 112, NASDAQ down 82, crude is down $2.35 at 102.44, gold down $8.40 at 1733.90, Bitcoin futures up down 1,210 at 20,555.
That's right. Crude go down, man. These gas prices is ridiculous. I need you to. Damn, Bitcoin. Yeah, man. As a day trader, I wouldn't. This is why, man. I understand why people held Bitcoin, but if I had Bitcoin from when it was $20, I don't know. Some people got it less than 20, man. Some people got it at $1, $2, whenever it went down to like a few cents. If I was someone that had Bitcoin from that time period, which was like years ago, but when Bitcoin was at 50,000, 60,000, if I had like 300 coins or 1,000 coins, if I got it cheap, like GameStop used to have tournaments where third place, would get 300 Bitcoin. Obviously, this is like 15 years ago, but I'm just saying, if that was me and I had 300 Bitcoin and I looked today and it was at 60,000 a coin, I'm collecting that, man. At least half. I'm at least selling half of my coins because now it's back down to $12,000, which is still a great amount, especially if you have like 1,000 shares. You're instantly, a millionaire. But imagine what you could have been if you left at 60. That's why I love day trading, man. I like to take the profits when it's there right in front of me. I don't tend to invest long term unless it's something that I know that's really going to be beneficial, and I'll allocate some of my account to it. But I always want to make sure I have a nice, decent size to day trade with. Because if something is at $1 and great news comes out, the volume is kicking in, I might want to pick up 20, 30,000 shares because it's flying. Low float, oh man, that dollar is now $5. So imagine me having 10, 20,000 shares and it goes up $4. 20,000 shares times 4, that's $80,000 in profit in one day. So that's why day traders like to trade daily. That's why it's called day trading. We tend not to hold things unless, like I said, it's something big, the new Facebook, or, well, I guess that's what Truth Social was, because literally the price jumped from, the company that they were merging with to do it went from $11 to $115 in 24 hours. So like it's things like that. Like that's what we day traders want our money for. Sure, we pay more taxes at the end of the year because we're not holding our investments long, but who cares? Like I would hate to buy something at $11, it goes up to 151, and I'm like, oh man, I'm up. This is fantastic. I'm holding this for the next 2-3 years. Facebook went up as high as $400 or $500. Oh yeah, this is going to do the same thing, or at least go even higher than this. And guess what? Let's look at what the price is now. $24. You've imagined you bought it at 11, you was as high as 151, and was like, I'm not selling, I'm holding this for 3-4 years, blah 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 blah. And literally
ACM awarded program management contract for Orange County Public Schools in Florida. That's Alpha Charlie Michael.
And literally months later, like this happened in November, we in July, so like 6-7 months later, look at where it's at. Like, would you not be devastated? I mean, I would. Some people, I collect. Like I said, see that?
Terms not disclosed on that contract.
This thing was at $9.84, man. If I were to have collected, if I were to have gotten this trade at $9 in that 24 hours, look at this huge spike from $9 to $175. Even if you would have gotten 1,000 shares, do you understand how much money you would have made off of this trade? That's $165,000 in 24 hours. But ever since then, dropped down. Boom, it's been hovering around the 50s. Went back up to 95 after some point, after like 3 months, and then now it's plummeted. As a day trader, we would have got in here, we would have left right here, and then we would have just watched, put it on the watch list to see how low would it go. Okay, it's maintaining the $40 area. Maybe with all the money made here, you know what? Let me get 1,000 shares here. Let me just dump 1,000 shares. That would have been $44,000, and you wait and you see. And the minute it would have went back up to 90, I probably would have collected because that's double. I would have made another 40 grand just holding that long. But as you can see, it's going to drop all the way back to this. So that's what really drew me to day trading, where it's like, sure, you can invest in something long term, and you'll definitely become rich. If you invested in Amazon when it was $2, obviously you went up as high as $3,000. But in my opinion, if that's me, I'm collecting. Maybe I would have said I'm not going to sell everything because Amazon will keep me rich for life. But I definitely, 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 definitely would have collected half or something like that. Especially if I had like 1,000 shares, 2,000 shares, $2. If you wanted 10,000 shares, if you had $20,000 to invest in Amazon when it was $2, man, you can only imagine what 10,000 times 3,000 is. Rich for life. That's what it is. And I probably would have collected. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just wanted to do it. $30 million. There's no way I wake up and I see I'm $30 million rich and I don't take something off the table. That I don't take at least $15 million out of there just to like set up life. There's no way. Now Amazon, just so I let you guys know, after the split that happened last month, it is now $115. Doesn't mean that people lost money on it. That they actually might be up right now. Because this thing dropped to 101 after the split, so it's up 14 bucks. But because of the split, you also have to multiply. I think it was a 21 split. So every share got split by 20. So basically, the 3,000 something divided by 20 gave it that $101 price point. But now their float is 9.17 billion. I'm not saying Amazon won't get back to 3,000, but they did this really so more people can afford it. AKA, they're going to make way more money in the long term. Um, because if this thing does go back up, which it will most likely, but it might take years to do that. It's not going to be something that happens in a blink of an eye. I'm curious to see what Amazon open. I don't know what they opened there. Just to see.
RGLD, Royal Gold, announcing agreement to acquire Great Bear Royalties Corporation. That's Romeo Golf Lima Delta, RGLD. IMCR, Immunocore, announcing dosing of first patient with MTAV bispecific for HIV. That's India Michael Charlie Romeo. CANF, Can Fight, to submit FDA and EMA registration plans for piclidenoson and the oral treatment of moderate to severe psoriasis. Charlie Alpha November Foxtrot. CANF.
What happens here? You break the line that I keep trying to do stuff.
USAP, Universal Stainless, announcing base price increase on bar products. That's Uniform Sandy Alpha Papa. TSTR, Capstar announcing significant Chattanooga investment. Charlie Sandy Tango Romeo.
So as I mentioned to you guys, like 7 a.m. That's when the news comes
MDWD,
out.
MediWound, announcing initial data from its US phase 1/2 study of MW005 to treat basal cell carcinoma, shown to be safe and well tolerated. That's Michael Delta Whiskey Delta. TKR, Timken selected as exclusive provider of advanced precision drives for Redstone Solar Thermal Power Project in Northern Cape, South Africa. Tango Kilo Romeo.
So most companies drop their news between the hours of 7 to 9 a.m. because that's when almost every brokerage
TCRX,
is
T-Scan Therapeutics announced publication in Cell highlighting the discovery of tumor antigens and TCRs for the treatment of solid tumors using foundational screening technology. Tango Charlie Romeo X-ray. ZYXI, Zynex sees Q2 revenue of $35 to $38 million.
You see that line I drew, guys? You see? You see what I'm saying? Got a shorted like right here. Look, it went all the way back up because people want to collect their profits.
The estimate $36.55 million. That's Zulu Yankee X-ray India. ALTR, Altair, and LG collaborate to accelerate digital transformation with AI-based simulation for product development. Apolima Tango Romeo.
So as I was saying, most brokerages are open. By the time 7 a.m., most should be open. There's only like maybe one or two that I can be mistaken. It might be more. There's a bigger world that doesn't allow you to trade until 8 a.m. And then the rest is they open at 9:30 a.m. like a Robinhood and things like that. But look what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? Look what it did. It jumped from 34.15 and look where we at 34. You know, it passed that line that I drew because that's. So do you see what I'm saying? Now, remember when I said, "Yo, I should actually buy in this situation because the price is going to go up," and I should have. I already knew that was going to happen. But again, you're not going to jump into every trade. I could have gotten in it and said, "Let me get 1,000 shares somewhere around here." I don't know, like around this 34.15 area, and I probably would have.
Ionis partner licenses rare kidney disease treatment. Roche partner with Ionis. That's India Oscar November Sandy.
I called this man. If he was here watching this with me, I already told you, man. The minute it did that, the minute it kept on bouncing off of this 34.15, that's what people were trying to cover at the lowest. And I just called it, man, right before 7 a.m. I said I should buy it. It was like where around 34.43. This is people starting to sell for much lower. This thing is still gonna go up, man. I won't be surprised if this thing touches 35. I mean, I don't know, but I'm trying to see where the high was. Okay, so this is as high as it got. Actually, I'm lying. It went up to like 37 something, and they shorted this. So they shorted this down to the next level I'm looking at is 35.10. Uh, the reason I drew that line there,
TLRX, Pliant Therapeutics shares hitting a high of 1160 in the pre-market. Company on Sunday announced safety and efficacy data from its phase 2 Integris IPF clinical trial of PLN 74809 in patients with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, getting getting a price target raise from RBC from $35 to $54. That's PLRX.
yeah, you're up. You jumped up quick with just 100 shares. Not interested yet. Let me see some volume and I'll entertain you. TCRX. TCRX. I don't even see. Now this is where everyone shorted the day before. Then it ended up coming all the way back up to this 35.11 to close, or 35.10. So I'm such a so this is, and when you're trading and you see the move coming and you know it's coming and you don't make the move, and then you just sit there and you watch. I'm not chasing this. I'm good. I know this is probably, like I said, the 7 a.m. crew is covering. 7 a.m. crew is covering. So this thing was as high as $37. If they 37.51, if they shorted around that price, or at least anything above 37, they're looking to collect. This is a three. This is still $3 in profit. If they shorted around the 35 area, it's 35.85. That might not be enough for them to cover. They might wait for it to dip down, but then they also might start to panic and be like, "Yo, man, I shorted this thing at $35.10, and it's already back up to 34.89. Let me get out of here." And then that's what causes. This doesn't mean Twitter is not going down the drain. It may very well still drop. Yesterday it closed at 36.81. So that's another situation there. And here's the thing, man. Someone might come on here and get super excited, like, "Oh man, Twitter is going up. It's going up. Let me get in here." Like someone that doesn't know what they're doing and they're just chasing the stock.
FLGC, Flora Growth, naming a new CFO, Foxtrot Lima Golf Charlie.
TCRX, you had some really good news, but you're not available.
AMC Entertainment shares popping here, $15.04, Alpha Michael Charlie.
Someone might see this and be like, "Oh man, Let me get in here. Uh, this is what I should. If I noticed this, if I would have, I was in the what time? 4 or 5 in the morning. I was in the shower. If I would have remotely seen the drop so significant like that, I would have bought here. I'm not gonna even lie to you. 33.50 or something, because I'm like, it's gonna go back up. I probably just did 33.50 and said, hey, if you hit 35.50, get me out of here. Or 34.50, excuse me. I'm not that greedy. And it definitely came back up there, so I would have definitely made a profit. And then here I would have saw this, and I would have drew my lines just the way that I did here. And then I would have saw like, man, it keeps bouncing up this 34.15. Let me place an order like around 34.20 or something. And then this thing went up as high as 34.92. To be honest, I'm very conservative. After I make my first big profit, every other trade after that, just give me 50 cents. I would have got in 34.20. I'd have said 34.70. I'm out of here. And I definitely would have made that as well. Yeah. TN. Hold on. I'll come back to Twitter. So basically, like I said, you see here, so it's like, okay, everyone is collecting profit. Now people that own this thing at 37.51, they see it's at $34. Some people might just cut their losses, call it a day. I'm trying to see how far this is willing to drop. If this drops back down here and it's holding steady, I may buy back in. Because the 8 a.m. crew is going to come in and want to cover. So yeah, this one looked like it wants to do. This is something I might have to. First of all, look at that. Look at that jump. This thing closed at what, 167? It's still 160 because it's closed. It's not allowing. Let me see something. Wait, is this the one?
TMO, Thermo Fisher, Mako Medical Labs announced it has validated a PCR-based monkeypox-specific assay developed by Thermo Fisher Scientific.
Whoa, monkeypox.
That's Tango Michael Oscar.
Now here's the thing. That sounds like fantastic news in my ear. But as a day trader, $553, that's just unnecessary. Even if I were to put my whole account into this, even like, how many shares am I really going to get? Even if I do get a good allocation of shares, unless, not saying that the stock can't jump up $100 in a day based on good news, but I see some people are willing to sell. All right, back to what I was looking at. This thing jumped up 10 cents, came right back down. Another one we're looking at is this one. It's so annoying. It's closer. No, let me put it on my watch list. Let's go back to my watch list. Keep that right there. This coin, I know you're going to go down because Bitcoin is going down the drain, so you're going down with it. Look at that big drop. Look at that big drop. Look at that. Already, Bitcoin's going down, you're going down. Look at that. The thing is, the news came out on the weekend, but I still could have made, if I could have made a trade. Because like, as soon as 4 in the morning hit, it dropped $3. Hey, lucky. I was enjoying my birthday, so And here's the thing too, man. You're not going to get every trade. You're not going to get every opportunity. But just know there's opportunities every day, multiples. What are you doing, Twitter? 'Cause I'm going to short you. I'm hoping Twitter recovers before open. I hope it recovers past 35, maybe even the 36 area, even 37. I'll take it. I hope people cover that much so I can just short it down to $20. Uh, TCRX, that's looking good. The recent review, I'm gonna add this to my watch list as well. Twitter, I'm gonna add you to my watch list. You're already on my watch list. UWAC, what are you doing? A steady decline. D-Rock is, that's what I was saying. I don't know why this thing jumped up so high. Like, you gotta get out of the drain. This thing was as high as what, $31? And now it's, I already knew people were gonna collect their profits from that. That's a no-brainer. Uh, that's good. People are collecting the 7 a.m. crew, man. I'm telling y'all, man. And you gotta understand, some people that have access between 4 and 6, if they're also
CTO Realty Growth announced the acquisition of grocery-anchored retail property in Atlanta for $80.2 million. Charlie Tango Oscar.
now what did I say? Now if I got in, if I shorted this yesterday at $32 wherever it was at, and I was up and I had access to the market at 4 in the morning, I would cover before 7 in the morning. Or I would at least wait. Well, in this case, I would wait for 7 in the morning because they probably want to. So this would have been an amazing profit, man, from 32 to 28, a $4 profit right there. Because when Elon Musk said he's not buying Twitter anymore, everyone got hyped and said, "Oh, let's get back into DWAP," but it was too aggressive. It went up too high, too fast, like, and people didn't want to miss out. So fear of missing out makes people go and buy the stock. But ultimately, look what happened when they started selling off since 4 in the morning. People are panicking, like, "Oh, it's going lower and lower and lower. Let me get out of here." Especially if they bought it at 24.52, because when it closed for the day at 4 o'clock, well, let me not say close, when normal business hours close, because you can still trade from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's just called after hours. So if I would have bought at $25 to wake up at 7 and see that I'm up at $28, but it was as high as 32, I'm out of here. Technically, they should have collected yesterday when it hit 32. But if they said, "Oh, I'm gonna hold on to this and this is gonna go back to $40," and then they wake up and they see they were wrong, but they're still up $3, they're taking that and they're running with it. Notice there's no rebound; it just keeps dropping. Now we'll see what the 8 a.m. crew does to this in 40 minutes. But at this point, I'm not touching this at all. At this point, it's too late to do anything about it. I was enjoying my birthday Friday, so it is what it is. But I'm just going through this process just to kind of, for educational purposes. So someone, like I said, someone might see Twitter right now and think, "Oh, Twitter is doing its thing."
PLRX, Pliant Therapeutics hitting new highs now, $11.75. Papa Lima Romeo X-ray.
Go back to what I was doing. So So, I mean, it's holding above that 34.73. Now, again, man, if they bought in at the 30, if they shorted it when it was at 37.51, that's a $3 profit. I mean, a little, a high $2 profit, 280, whatever that is, 270. If I'm waking up at 8 a.m. and I'm getting ready to trade and I see I'm up that much, I'm gone. But as you can see, this thing has recovered all the way up to like 30.90. I have it here for 35.11 because in the after hours, this was the highest that it reached, which means whoever shorted it yesterday down to like 33 and then made it bounce back up to 35, they covered. But was that everybody? That's the question. Now, this I wouldn't even attempt to buy. Now, that same strategy that I was thinking here, man, it keeps bouncing off of this thing. Let me get in here. This is where I should have got in. The 34.30, 34.40. That's where I could have got in. And then I probably wouldn't even have sold. Maybe, let's see, 40. It went up to what, 90? That's 50 cents. Maybe I would have saw it hit that, and then I would have put like a barrier just in case it hits 30.70 again to get me out of there, because then I would have lost 20% of my profit. Well, 20 cents per share out of my profit. But to be honest, guys, I like to collect 50 cents. I probably would have been gone. Now, would I buy here at this area? I mean, it's looked like it's finding support. But whoever bought this thing, they might be panicking and they start to sell. Because look at these sell orders. Look at this thing compared to this side. But the more they sells, look at these shorts. The shorts is trying to cover at 34.60, which is like around here. So I won't be surprised if I see it drop back here. Yeah, let me leave that right there. Let's see if it actually. I'm definitely going to jump on Twitter one way or the other, but I'm waiting to see how high this is willing to go. I'm hoping this thing goes back up at least, please touch $36. That would be amazing. 36 anything. I don't care if it goes up 50 cents after that. I would hold on to the position until end of day because I know where it's going to end up. Maybe high 20s. Look at you. See, it's like this thing does a huge pop with a little bit of volume. Now imagine you bought at 174. Oh, I'm gonna chase this, and now it's right back to where it started, and now you're down. But this is the guy right here. This is what I want. This is what I want. Let me see the 5-minute chart. Been declining, but since you hit 160, jump back up to 380. That's $2, and you just been holding steady, but haven't been able to break this. And it down a little bit, it up. So we're looking for this to break at least 357. What price is telling me the exact price? 357. I mean, if it breaks that, what's the lowest it's gone? Down to 374. Then it has a higher low. And then a high. Yeah, this thing looks like it's trending up, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in here. I'm gonna have to get in where I fit in. I'm gonna have to. Let me see. thing is also closed. Also has good. You know what? Watch listings. Some stocks don't allow you to trade till 9:30 in the morning. That kind of sucks. Ooh, this thing is flying in volume, man. This thing jumped from $8. Now it's 11.71. Now you see this? This is something that looks good right here. See this? It jumped up. It's like 11, came back down to just under $10, and now it's back on a rise to 11. I like this right here. I like this because it's
LJPC, La Jolla Pharma, halted for news. Lima Juliet Papa Charlie.
someone said they jumped in at 11.60. I'm good. I'll wait for the next pullback because you see there's a lot more selling going on than buying. So I'll wait for another. It broke this high. Yeah, this thing is gone. Now the reason why I say I like this better than the other thing that jumped up $2, like I told you guys, this has actual volume. It has news. The float is 32 million. This is why it's doing this, and it's consistent. You see consistent chart. You see it on the chart moving. That other thing that we looked at, is it still on my list somewhere? There it is. Come on now. Look how choppy that is. Look at it. Look, dots. Then it just drops them immediately. Look, 100 is no. Come on now. Look at that. Why did I click on Nile? This is what I meant to click on. There we go. Look at this thing. How choppy that is. There's no chart. There's like no, you know, no action. Like it's just barcode, come down here, dot, look, just dot, drop, dot, drop, come back up. Like there's nothing going on here. Again, 8,000 shares made this thing, again, 300 shares made this jump up to 1098. Imagine you would have chased it. You know, I know, Hakeem, you mentioned this earlier. Like, do you see what I'm saying? It's not doing anything now.
PODD, Insulet says on July 7th entered into a settlement and license agreement with Roche Diabetes to settle pending patent infringement lawsuit brought by Roche against the company. That's
See this right here? Its volume is climbing.
INVA and LJPC and Innoviva to acquire La Jolla for $5.95 per share. That's India November Victor Alpha and Lima Juliet Papa Charlie.
Closed. Come on, man.
La Jolla shares closed at $3.39 on Friday, again being acquired for $5.95 per share by Innoviva. That's India November Victor Alpha Lima Juliet Papa Charlie.
Man. Well, it is what it is. Look at that. Went up to. The funny thing is,
QIPT, Quip surpasses 200,000 active patients, adding about $7 million in revenue and anticipated $1.4 million of adjusted EBITDA post-integration. Quebec, India, Papa Tango. WAFU, Waffle Education, announcing cooperation with Sichuan International Studies University and .ease Information for online education platform development. That deal for Innoviva to acquire La Jolla, it's $5.95 per share plus an additional 28 cents per share for additional cash proceeds received in connection with the divestiture of a non-core asset. So that total purchase price, $6.23 per share. That's India November Victor Alpha, Lima Juliet Papa Charlie. Shares of La Jolla currently halted.
Of course, it's halted. They're getting bought out. That's the insider traders already are in there. That's it. I can even when I hear stuff like that, it's over.
PITN Titan Machinery announcing strategic acquisition from Heartland AG Systems. That's Tango India Tango November. ITRM Therapeutics announced special protocol assessment with the FDA. India Tango Romeo Michael. TRM low price stock popping on that FDA news. India Tango Romeo Michael. La Jolla Pharma shares to resume trading at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Lima Juliet Papa Charlie. HealRx, Pliant Therapeutics now over $12 and volume increasing.
I'm watching it.
Papa Lima Romeo X-ray. Company announcing data from their pulmonary idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis trial on Sunday, now at $12.40 the high. That's Papa Lima Romeo X-ray.
It's about to go. It's about to blow past that in a second. See? Not paying attention. Boo boo. I just took a short position on this thing at the top. Um, so that's why you see my profit or my loss here. But this thing's being aggressive. I think this thing will simmer down for me a little bit.
TWTR Twitter shares getting a little pop here now, 35.18. Tango Whiskey, Tango Romeo.
Twitter, keep doing your thing. See what I'm saying? 8 a.m. crew is coming in. Everybody is like, let me cover now. Boom. Get that. Get that. Look at that. I hope it gets back to the 36. It's not popping for the right reasons. It's just people are covering because it was as high as 37.50 when they shorted it. Now they're just collecting profits and it's going back up. Shorts and covering. However, if this thing hits anywhere near this 36 something again, I'll wait until 37. I might put in a order to short it at 37. Who knows? Right now, I'm here. This thing went up this high. I showed it at 12.50. It went up an additional 27 cents. I tried to call it at 12.50, but who knows? Let me see something. I took a small position, 500 shares. That's right. That's a huge buy wall at $12.50, man. Here's my thing. Whoever bought in around $10, to be honest, if I was even here for this ride, I'd have been gone at 12. I'm not gonna even lie to you. However, it kept going up. So we're gonna see what the 8 a.m. crew is doing. That's what I'm holding for. Up is at 12.50 hold. That's the question. There we go. Now I'm back to being profitable. People's gonna start collecting it once they see it's like it's struggling. I'm gonna put a line right here. This is where this is the high. I tend not to short so much. I tend not to bet against stocks, but to be honest with you, like you know, I already missed this wave, so I'm gonna catch it on the way down. You know, you can make money both ways in the stock market, but shorting is very risky. But if it's hot, it's hot. But this thing has jumped up so much. Look, see, it's coming right back up. So I've been as profitable as much as like $60, and I've been down as much as $60. So but this is not holding up too well. And look at this huge wall building at 270. I mean 1270. Excuse me. They're trying, but I feel like these are chasers for my sake. Let me see. Damn, they bought up that 1270 wall like it's nothing. Yeah, but here we go. Yeah, people's like, oh, y'all paying this much for it? Get me out of here, Bob. Yeah, that's what I need. I need people to get greedy, collect profits. And the 8 a.m. crew is coming. Get scared. Come on. Now, again, I could be wrong on this, guys. Don't do what I do. Uh, don't trade what I trade. There we go. I'm back to being positive again. Well, I took my eyes off the screen for a second. You know what? Let me do this. Right? 'Cause this thing has to give me something. Let me see. Like, what's my price target to collect on this? Like, I bought in at 12.50. I have 500 shares. I can say, okay, 12.25, get me out of here. 50 cents. If I leave at 12, I can make 250 bucks. But that's the question. Is it really going to take that dive? You know what? Let's see if it gives me, $12. Oh, that's very aggressive of me. Or I can just hold this all day and see what happens. But once those buyers start leaving, let's see. What am I looking for? I can also average up my short position if I really wanted to, but I'm not doing that yet until people are really trying to burn me on this one, huh? Like the sell balls, I like it. Once that 1246, 1245, those buy orders, once that disappears,
LJPC, La Jolla Pharma shares to resume trading in 5 minutes now at 8 a.m. Eastern Time after that announcement. It's being acquired by Innoviva for $6.23 per share in total. That's Lima Juliet Papa Charlie.
I'm mad this thing halted. How you halt in the pre-market, man? I need to take a position on this too, or at least try to. But what are they trying to pay them? 5.95 a share. Where is this thing right now? Hmm. This thing's at a new high. Now I'm down 110 bucks. Like I said, guys, trades don't always go your way, but you also don't want to put in such a heavy position to where you feel affected. Like negative 100 bucks. Not saying I value all dollars, pennies, and cents, but I'm not terrified. Like this is not like This doesn't have me like terrified at all. This this trick here. What am I doing? This closed yesterday at 3:39. How much can I buy at 4:20? Is the question.
PLRX, Pliant Therapeutics hitting $13 now at the high. Papa Lima Romeo X-ray. LJPC, La Jolla Pharma resumes $6.08 now at the high. Lima Julia Papa Charlie. VRTX, Vertex to acquire Biosite. That's Victor Romeo Tango X-ray, VRTX. LPCN, FDA clears LPCN 2101 IND for adult epilepsy treatment. That's Lima Papa Charlie November. EXEL, Excelsis announced cabozantinib in combination with nivolumab and ipilimumab significantly improved progression-free survival in phase 3 Cosmic 313 pivotal trial in patients with previously untreated advanced kidney cancer. That's Echo X-ray Echo Lima. EXEL. AQST, Aquestive Therapeutics, reporting results from final 2 arms of EPIPHAST trial supporting performance and real-world functionality of AQST 109, epinephrine oral film. That's Alpha Quebec Sandy Tango, AQST. HOLX, Hologic. Hologic announced 2 new respiratory assays for the detection of COVID-19. Flu A, Flu B, and RSV. That's Hotel Oscar Lima X-ray. PTOO, T2 Biosystems received FDA Breakthrough Device Designation for T2 Lyme panel. That's Tango, Tango, Oscar, Oscar. NCNA, Nucana, and GILD, Gilead. German court rules that Gilead sofosbuvir infringes Nucana's 190 patent. That's November Charlie, November Alpha, and Golf India Lima Delta. Says that decision only applies to Germany, and Gilead may appeal the decision. That's Golf India Lima Delta, November Charlie, November Alpha. FF Future Fuel says that Paul Novelli will step down from his position as CEO. That's Foxtrot Foxtrot. Will continue as chairman of the board. That's FF Foxtrot Foxtrot. TTNP, Activist Investing, nominates slate of director candidates for election to board of Titan Pharma at upcoming meeting of shareholders. That's Tango, Tango, November, Papa. NVAX, Biden administration secures 3.2 million doses of Novavax COVID-19 vaccine. That's November Victor Alpha X-ray. AEMD, Aethlon Medical, announcing FDA approval. Of Hemopurifier COVID-19 study protocol amendment. That's Alpha Echo Michael Delta, AEMD. META, Meta's oversight board says on Wednesday will host a roundtable to discuss Facebook and Instagram's impact on Africa and the upcoming elections. That's Michael Echo Tango Alpha. SOPA, Society Pass, announcing acquisition of Thoughtful Media Group. That's Sandy Oscar Papa Alpha, SOPA. DLH awarded NIH Cancer Epidemiology and Genetics contract. That's Delta Lima Hotel Charlie, DLHC. ARQT, Arcutis Biotherapeutics, reaching regulatory milestone with Health Canada acceptance of NDA for Famflumast cream for adults and adolescents with plaque psoriasis. That's Alpha Romeo Quebec Tango. SVRA, Savara announcing acceptance of 3 abstracts at European Respiratory Society International Congress. That's Sandy Victor Romeo Alpha. mRNA, Moderna says Omicron containing bivalent booster candidate mRNA 1273.214 demonstrates significantly higher neutralizing antibody response against Omicron subvariants BA.4/5 versus currently authorized booster. That's Michael Romeo November Alpha. BYRN, Berna sells its 40 mm legacy business to Factor Global of Canada. Bravo Yankee Romeo November.
Oh.
PLRX, Pliant Therapeutics, more new highs now, $13.75. Papa Lima Romeo X-ray, PLRX. LJPC, La Jolla Farmer, off the high, $6.15, being acquired for $6.23 in total by Innoviva, Lima Juliet Papa Charlie.
Guys, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Fortunately, it's 8:13. I actually have to go be a dad. That takes priority. But I thank you guys for joining the show. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, just drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you guys. All right, peace out.
At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten